The great hall of the imperial palace shined with golden light. 12 tall beings sat around a round table made of black stone. They were the Imperial Council, the most powerful group in the galaxy. At the head of the table sat Emperor Cole, his blue skin gleaming under the lights. "The rebels grow stronger each day," Emperor Cole said, his voice deep and cold. "They take more of our planets. They turn more of our people against us." Spymaster Du-hyun stood up. He was smaller than the others, with gray skin and 4 arms. He touched a button on his wrist, and a map appeared in the air above the table. "We have found their main base," Du-hyun said. "It is here, on this moon near Proxima Centauri." The council members leaned forward to look at the map. The moon glowed red in the display. "Why not just blow it up?" asked one council member. "Because," said Du-hyun, "we need to kill their leaders without making them martyrs. If we destroy the whole moon, more will join the rebels. We need a quiet solution." Emperor Cole nodded slowly. "The Shadow Blades." A hush fell over the room. Even the bravest council members looked afraid. "The Shadow Blades are expensive," said another member. "And dangerous." "We can afford them," said the Emperor, "and we can control them." Do-hyun touched his wrist again. The map disappeared, replaced by 5 faces of different alien species. "I have already contacted their leader, Ta. They will meet us tomorrow." The next day, a small black ship landed at the Imperial Palace. No markings, no lights, just smooth black metal. The door opened without a sound, and 5 figures walked out. In front walked Ta, the leader. He looked almost like a human, except for his silver eyes and the ridges on his forehead. He came from Korath, a planet known for its warrior culture. He wore simple black clothes and carried no visible weapons. Behind him came the others. Rai, who could change her shape to look like anyone. Wan, half machine, half alien, with computers built into his brain. Sun, who could control energy with her 6-fingered hands. And Jin, who could read minds and steal thoughts. Imperial guards led them to a private room where Emperor Cole waited alone. "The mighty Shadow Blades," said the Emperor. "Thank you for coming." Ta bowed slightly. "We come when the price is right." The Emperor smiled. "And the price is very right." He pushed a small disc across the table. 1 billion credits now. Another billion when the job is done. Ta picked up the disc and slipped it into his pocket without checking it. The Shadow Blades never questioned payment. If someone tried to cheat them, they would not live long enough to enjoy it. "Tell us about the target," said Ta. The Emperor waved his hand, and images appeared on the wall. The rebel leadership, all hiding on this moon. They plan to attack 3 of our major planets next month. You will kill them all before that happens. "Security?" asked Huan, his mechanical eye glowing red. "Basic. They are rebels, not soldiers." Ta looked at the images carefully. "Any special concerns?" The Emperor laughed. "The rebels have made friends with Earth recently. It's a primitive planet that just joined the Galactic Alliance. They know nothing of real war or galactic politics." "Earth," said Rai, her skin rippling slightly as she spoke. "The humans." "Yes, weak creatures who think they matter. They may have some people at the base." Ta nodded. "It doesn't matter. Human, alien, machine. All die the same." The Emperor stood up. "You leave tomorrow. Do not fail me." Ta bowed again. "The Shadow Blades do not fail." Far away on the blue-green planet called Earth, a message arrived at the Defense Council building. Earth had only been part of the galactic community for 3 years, but they had friends and spies in many places. Admiral Park read the message twice before pressing the emergency button under his desk. "Get me the Prime Minister," he said to his assistant, "and contact the Ninja program. Tell them to ready their best operative." "Only one?" asked the assistant. Admiral Park nodded. "For the Shadow Blades, one is all we need." The Shadow Blades ship moved through space without lights. Inside, 5 of the galaxy's deadliest killers prepared for their mission. Ta stood at the center of the ship's main room. His silver eyes scanned the holographic maps of the rebel base. "This will be an easy job," he said. "The base has 3 main buildings. The rebel leaders will be in the center one." Rai walked around the map, her body changing slightly with each step. First, she looked like herself, tall with smooth purple skin. Then she changed to look like a rebel soldier they had seen in the briefing. "I can get us inside," she said, her voice changing to match her new form. "They will think I am one of them." Juan didn't look up from his work. His fingers, half flesh and half metal, moved quickly over his devices. Wires connected his head directly to the ship's computers. "Their security systems are old," he said. "I can shut them down in less than a minute." Sun floated a few inches above the floor, her body glowing softly. The energy expert could pull power from almost anything and turn it into a weapon. "Once we're inside, I can disable their weapons and vehicles," she said. "They won't be able to escape." Jin sat cross-legged in the corner, his eyes closed. The telepath was reaching out with his mind, trying to sense the thoughts of those at the rebel base. "I sense many minds," he said quietly. "Most are afraid. They know the Empire is looking for them." Ta nodded. "Fear makes them weak. We will strike in 3 days, when they receive their supply shipment. Ri will go in first, then Juan to handle security. Sun and Jin will secure the escape routes. I will kill the leaders." The others nodded. They had worked together for 20 years and had killed targets on over 300 planets. No one had ever escaped the Shadow Blades. "What about these Earth humans?" asked Sun. Ta laughed. "Humans are new to space. They only left their planet a few decades ago. The Emperor says they are weak." Jin opened his eyes. "Do not underestimate any enemy, Ta. That is the first rule of the Shadow Blades." Ta frowned. "You're right. We will learn what we can about humans before we strike." On Earth, at a hidden base deep in the mountains, Admiral Park met with the head of the ninja program. "The situation is grave," Park said. "The Shadow Blades have been hired to kill our allies." Master Li nodded. His face was old, but his eyes were sharp. "The Shadow Blades are known to us. They have never failed a mission." "Until now," said Park. "We need your best operative." Master Li looked out the window at a lone figure training in the garden. The man moved like water, his body flowing from one form to another as he practiced with an ancient sword. "Kim is ready," said Master Li. "He is the best I have trained in 50 years." Admiral Park looked doubtful. "Just one man against 5 assassins. A ninja does not fight like others fight," said Master Li. "Kim has mastered the old ways and the new technology. He can disappear in plain sight. He can kill without being seen." "The Empire thinks Earth is weak," said Park. "They think we are new to war." Master Li smiled. "They forget that humans fought each other for thousands of years before we reached the stars. The ninja arts are over 1,000 years old. Kim carries that knowledge." Kim finished his training and walked toward them. He was not tall or muscular. He looked ordinary, which was his greatest strength. No one would notice him until it was too late. "Kim," said Master Li, "you have a mission." Kim bowed. "I am ready, Master." Admiral Park handed him a small device. "This contains all we know about the Shadow Blades and the rebel base. You leave in 2 hours. 1 against 5. Asked Kim. "Is that a problem?" asked Park. Kim smiled slightly. "No. In the shadows, numbers mean nothing." As Kim left to prepare, Master Li turned to Park. "The Empire has hired 5 assassins who kill with technology and strange powers. And we're sending 1 man with a sword," said Park. Master Li smiled. "No, we're sending a ninja. The Empire will learn what that means." The Earth Defense Council met in an underground room in Seoul. 12 men and women sat around a large table, their faces serious. On a big screen, they watched a video of the Shadow Blade ship leaving the Imperial Palace. The Shadow Blades have never failed, said Defense Minister Han. Our allies in the rebel base will all die if we don't help them. We could send a battleship, suggested General Yu. Our newest ships have good weapons. Admiral Park shook his head. A battleship would be seen. The Empire would know we are helping the rebels. They would attack Earth. Then what can we do? Asked Minister Han. We can't let our allies die, but we can't start a war with the Empire. Admiral Park pressed a button, and a new image appeared on the screen. It showed a man in black clothes, his face calm. This was Kim, the ninja. We send one operative, said Park. Someone who can move without being seen. Someone who can stop the Shadow Blades without the Empire knowing it was us. The council members looked at the image, then at each other. One man, asked General Yu, against 5 assassins. That's suicide. Master Li stepped forward. He was the only person in the room not part of the Defense Council. The Shadow Blades rely on their special powers and alien technology, he said. They are feared because people see them coming and still cannot stop them. But a ninja is never seen. Explain, said Minister Han. Master Li pointed to the screen. Kim has trained since he was 5 years old. He has mastered the ancient ninja arts of stealth, deception, and silent killing. But he has also trained with our newest technology. The screen changed to show Kim in training. He moved so fast that the camera barely caught him. Then he seemed to disappear completely, even though he was in an empty room. How did he do that? Asked someone. The ninja doesn't try to be invisible, said Master Li. He makes you not notice him. It is a skill of movement, timing, and understanding how people see. Kim can stand in front of you, and your eyes will look past him. Admiral Park nodded. And we have given him our newest inventions, materials that change color to match their surroundings, weapons that make no sound, poisons that leave no trace. Minister Han still looked worried. But the telepath, Jin, he can read minds. Kim has trained his mind as well as his body, said Master Li. He can control his thoughts or empty his mind completely. Jin will sense nothing. The council talked for another hour. Some thought the plan was too risky. Others wanted to send more help. But in the end, they agreed. They would send Kim. Kim's small ship approached the moon where the rebel base was hidden. The ship was Earth's newest scout vessel. It had no weapons, but it could not be seen by most scanners. Kim sat in the pilot's seat, his eyes closed. He was preparing his mind for the mission. In his thoughts, he went through everything he knew about the Shadow Blades. Tai, the leader, smart and dangerous. Ray, the shapeshifter, could look like anyone. Wan, the tech expert, could hack any system. Sun, the energy controller, could use power as a weapon. Jin, the telepath, could read minds. Each had a weakness. Kim would find it and use it. The ship's computer beeped. Kim opened his eyes. He had arrived. The moon was small and rocky. Most of it was covered in red dust. The rebel base was built into the side of a large crater, hidden from view. Kim landed his ship far from the base. No one would find it here. He put on his gear, all black, but made of special material that would change color as needed. He carried only a few small weapons. A ninja didn't need many tools. As he stepped onto the dusty surface of the moon, his communicator beeped. It was Admiral Park. The Shadow Blades will arrive in 2 days, said Park. Be careful, Kim. The galaxy thinks Earth is weak. They think we are fools to send one man. Kim smiled slightly. Let them think that. It will be their last mistake. He turned off the communicator and began to run toward the rebel base. It was time to prepare. The rebel base looked small from the outside. Most of it was built under the surface of the moon. Kim watched it from behind a large rock. He had been watching for 3 hours, learning the patterns of the guards. There were 2 guards at the main door. They changed every 2 hours. The security cameras moved in a pattern that left 5 seconds when they didn't cover one part of the wall. Kim waited until the cameras turned away, then moved. He ran so fast and so quietly that the guards didn't notice him. He climbed the wall in 3 seconds and was inside before the cameras turned back. Inside, the base was larger than it looked. Tunnels went deep into the moon. People walked through the hallways, aliens of many different kinds, all working together against the Empire. Kim stayed in the shadows. No one saw him as he made his way deeper into the base. He needed to find the rebel leaders. After 20 minutes, he found the main meeting room. Through a small window in the door, he could see 7 people sitting around a table. They were looking at maps and talking. One of them was human, a man with gray hair and a serious face. Kim opened the door and stepped inside. Immediately, all 7 people jumped up. Some pulled out weapons. "Who are you?" asked the gray-haired human. "I am Kim, sent from Earth." The human looked surprised. "I am June, the rebel commander. We were told help was coming, but—" "You expected more people," said Kim. June nodded. "The Shadow Blades are coming. There are 5 of them. Each one is a deadly killer." Kim nodded. "I know. That's why I'm here." The other rebel leaders looked at each other. One of them, a tall blue alien, laughed. "One human against the Shadow Blades. This is a joke." Kim said nothing. He simply looked at the blue alien. June sighed. "This is Sue, my second in command. The others are Mu, Del, Go, Ha, and Bin. They lead our forces." Kim bowed slightly to each one. "I need to know about your base. Every room, every hallway, every door." "Why?" asked Sue, still not believing Kim could help. "Because this will be my battlefield," said Kim. A ninja turns the ground to his advantage. June looked at Kim for a long moment, then nodded. "I'll show you everything." For the next hours, June took Kim through the entire base. Kim memorized everything: where people slept, where food was stored, where the power systems were. He asked many questions and made small marks on walls that only he would notice. "What are you planning?" asked June when they finished. "I will set traps," said Kim. "And I will learn where to hide, where to move, and where to strike." "You really think you can stop them?" asked June. Before Kim could answer, an alarm sounded. Everyone in the base began to run. "What's happening?" asked Kim. June ran to a computer and looked at the screen. "A ship has entered our system, not Imperial design." "The Shadow Blades," said Kim. "They're here early." "We must evacuate," said June. Kim shook his head. "No. If you run, they will follow. I need them here, where I'm ready for them." "But—" "Trust me," said Kim. "Keep your people here. Act normal. The Shadow Blades will watch before they attack." On their ship, the Shadow Blades looked at the moon. "Scan for defenses," ordered Ta. Juan connected to the ship's systems. "They have basic shields, a few old weapons, nothing that can stop us." Jin sat with his eyes closed. "I sense something strange." "What?" asked Ta. "A mind that feels empty, not like the others." "A different alien species?" asked Sun. Jin shook his head. "I don't know, but it feels cold, controlled." "It doesn't matter," said Ta. "We will watch for one day, then attack when they sleep." Rai looked at the moon and smiled. She began to change her form, preparing to look like one of the rebels. "Soon," she said, "they will all be dead." Night fell on the small moon. The rebel base grew quiet as most people went to sleep. Only a few guards remained awake, walking their usual routes. Outside the base, hidden behind rocks, Ta gave final orders to his team. "Ray, you go first. Look like a guard. Get to the main door." Rai nodded. Her body changed shape, her skin color shifting, until she looked exactly like one of the rebel guards they had seen earlier. Juan, once she's inside, shut down their security systems. Juan tapped on his wrist computer. "It will take 30 seconds once I start." Sun, stay outside. If anyone tries to escape, use your energy powers to stop them. Sun smiled, her hands already glowing with power. Jin, scan for minds. Tell us where the leaders are. Jin closed his eyes. I sense most of them in the lower levels. But that strange mind, it's moving. What strange mind? Asked Ta. The empty one. It feels like a hole in space. Ta frowned. Stay alert. This could be a trap. Inside the base, Kim moved through dark hallways. He wore all black, and his special suit changed color slightly to match the walls. He was almost invisible in the shadows. He had spent hours setting up traps. Thin wires across hallways, small devices that would make noise when triggered, areas where he had spread a fine powder that would show footprints. Now he waited and watched. At the main door, a guard looked up as another guard approached. "You're early for your shift," said the first guard. The second guard, who was really Rai in disguise, smiled. I couldn't sleep. Kim watched from a hidden spot above them. He knew right away that the new guard was not real. The walk was wrong. The voice was too smooth, as the fake guard talked to the real one. Kim saw a small movement near the security panel. A tiny drone, the size of an insect, landed on it. This would be Juan's work, using tech to hack the systems. Kim had expected this. He had already changed the security codes and added his own hidden program. The real guard nodded to the fake one and walked away. Rai waited until he was gone, then spoke quietly into her wrist. I'm in. Outside, Juan's fingers moved over his computer, starting the hack now. On his screen, he saw the rebel base's security system. It was old and simple. He began to shut it down piece by piece. But something was wrong. The system wasn't responding like he expected. There's a problem, he said to Ta. Someone has changed the security system. Can you still shut it down? Asked Ta. Yes, but it will take longer. And they might notice. Ta looked at the base. Do it. We have no choice. Inside, Kim smiled as he saw blinking lights on a small device in his hand. Juan was trying to hack the system, but Kim's changes were slowing him down. Now Kim knew where one of them was, and soon the fake guard would lead him to others. He moved silently through the hallways, following Rai at a distance. She was good. She moved like a real guard and fooled everyone she passed. Rai stopped at a door and checked that no one was watching. Then she pressed her hand to a panel beside the door. The door opened and she went inside. Kim waited a moment, then followed. The room was dark, filled with computer equipment. Rai was connecting a small device to one of the computers. Kim could attack now, but he waited. He needed to learn more about their plan before he struck. Suddenly, Jin's voice came from Rai's wrist communicator. Someone is watching you. Rai spun around, looking for danger. Kim didn't move. He stood perfectly still in the shadows. I don't see anyone, said Rai. I sense a mind. No, it's gone again, said Jin. Be careful. Kim smiled. His training to empty his mind was working. Jin could sense him only when he let his thoughts flow. Rai finished her work and left the room. Kim followed, staying in the shadows. The hunt had begun. By morning, the rest of the Shadow Blades had entered the rebel base. Juan had finally broken through the security system, though it had taken much longer than he expected. Tai and Jin moved through the hallways, careful to avoid the guards. They met Rai in a small storage room. The rebel leaders are in the lower level, said Rai. But something feels wrong. The security was changed recently. Ta frowned. Someone knows we're coming. Jin nodded. I still sense that strange mind. It appears and disappears. I can't track it. We need to move faster, said Ta. Sun, come in. Sun's voice came through their communicators. I'm still outside. No one has tried to leave. Enter now, ordered Ta. We attack in 1 hour. Kim watched from inside an air vent as the assassins talked. He had followed Rai all night, learning where the others were. Now, they were all together, except for the one called Sun. He had seen what each of them could do. Ray could change her shape perfectly. Juan could hack into any system with his technology. Jin could sense minds but seemed confused by Kim's trained thoughts. Ta was the leader, always watching, always careful. Sun was the energy controller. Kim had not seen her yet, but he knew she would be dangerous. She could be his first target. Kim moved silently through the air system until he reached an exit near the main door. He dropped down when no one was looking and slipped outside. The sun was rising over the moon's surface. Kim's suit changed color to match the red rocks. He moved from shadow to shadow, looking for Sun. He found her on a hill overlooking the base. She was sitting cross-legged, her hands glowing with energy. She seemed to be pulling power from the sunlight itself. Kim circled around behind her. He took out a small weapon from his belt. It was not a gun or a knife. It was something Earth had created, a device that absorbed energy. He moved closer, careful not to make a sound. Sun's eyes were closed as she gathered power. 10 steps away. 5 steps. 3. Suddenly, Sun opened her eyes and turned. "Who's there?" she called. Kim froze. His training allowed him to stand completely still. Most people would look right past him. But Sun was not most people. She sent a wave of energy across the ground. It hit Kim and pushed him backward. "I see you now," said Sun, standing up. Her whole body glowed with power. Kim knew he had lost the element of surprise. Now he had to fight. Sun threw a ball of energy at him. Kim rolled to the side, the energy hitting the ground where he had been standing. "You're human," said Sun, surprised. "Earth sent a human against us." Kim didn't answer. He ran toward her, moving in a zigzag pattern as she threw more energy at him. He activated his energy-absorbing device and held it in front of him. It caught Sun's next attack and absorbed it. Sun looked shocked. "What is that?" Now Kim was close enough. He jumped and kicked Sun in the chest. She fell backward but quickly stood up again. "You're fast," she said, "but I have the power of a star." She gathered energy in both hands and sent it at Kim in a continuous beam. Kim held up his device, but it could not absorb so much power. The device began to shake. Kim knew he had seconds before it exploded. He threw the device at Sun and dove behind a rock. The device hit Sun and exploded with all the energy it had absorbed. There was a bright flash and a loud bang. When Kim looked again, Sun was lying on the ground, not moving. Her power was gone. Kim checked her quickly. She was alive but unconscious. He tied her hands and feet with special rope that would block her powers when she woke up. The first shadow blade was down. 4 remained. Kim's communicator beeped. It was June. "The assassins are inside," said June. "They're looking for us." "Hide," said Kim. "I'm coming back." He looked at Sun one more time, then ran back toward the base. The real battle was about to begin. Inside the rebel base, Tai tried to contact Sun. His communicator made the calling sound, but no one answered. "Sun doesn't respond," he said to the others. Jin closed his eyes, trying to sense her mind. After a moment, he opened his eyes again. "She's alive, but unconscious. Someone attacked her." Tai's face turned hard. Change of plans. Juan, lock down the base. No one leaves. Rai, find the rebel leaders now. Jin, try to find whoever attacked Sun. Juan used his computer to close all doors in the base. Alarm sounds filled the hallways. Rebels ran in all directions, confused and afraid. Rai changed her shape to look like June, the rebel leader. "I'll tell them I'm evacuating the leaders. They'll take me right to them." Jin frowned. "Be careful. That strange mind I sensed. It might be the attacker." Kim entered the base through a small vent. He heard the alarms and knew the shadow blades had started their final attack. He needed to find June before the assassins did. He moved quickly through the air vents, taking shortcuts he had memorized. He dropped down into a hallway and saw rebel soldiers running past. He grabbed one and pulled him aside. "Where is June?" asked Kim. "In the command center," said the soldier. He ordered everyone to gather there. Kim nodded and let the soldier go. The command center was on the lowest level. He needed to get there fast. As he turned a corner, he saw June walking with 2 rebel officers. But something was wrong. June walked differently. His eyes moved too quickly. Kim realized this wasn't June. It was Ray, the shapeshifter. He followed the fake June, staying far enough back that Jin wouldn't sense his thoughts. The fake June told people to go to the upper levels, away from the real command center. Ray was trying to clear the way to the real June. Kim needed to act fast. He took a different route, using the vents again to get ahead of Ray. In the real command center, June and the other rebel leaders were preparing to fight. "We should evacuate," said Sue. "The shadow blades are too dangerous." "We can't," said June. "The doors are locked. We're trapped in here." "Where is the human?" asked Mew. He said he could help. As if answering, Kim dropped from the ceiling into the middle of the room. Everyone jumped back in surprise. "The shapeshifter is coming," said Kim. "She looks like you, June. And the tech expert has locked down the base." "What about the others?" asked June. "I took care of the energy controller," said Kim. "She's no longer a threat." The rebel leaders looked at Kim with new respect. "What's your plan?" asked June. "I need you all to hide," said Kim. "Not here. They'll expect you to be here." He led them through a small door into a storage room. "Stay here. Don't make any sound. I'll deal with the assassins." "Alone?" asked Sue, no longer doubting Kim. Kim nodded. "This is what I do." Tai received a message from Rai. "I've found where the leaders should be. Heading to the command center now." "Good," said Ta. "Jin and I will meet you there." Wan's voice came through the communicator. "Tai, I still can't contact Sun. And I found something strange in the security system. It's like someone rewrote parts of it before I hacked in." Ta frowned. "The rebels have help. Someone who knows what they're doing." Jin suddenly stopped walking. "The mind is back. It's close." "Where?" asked Ta. "Everywhere," said Jin, looking confused. "It's like it's all around us." Todd pulled out his weapon. "Stay alert. Tell Ree to be careful." But when he tried to contact Ree, there was no answer. "Something's wrong," said Ta. "Move to the command center now." They ran through the hallways, not caring about stealth anymore. The hunt had become more dangerous than they expected. Tai and Jin reached the command center. The door was open, but the room was empty. "Where are they?" asked Ta, looking around. Jin closed his eyes. "I sense mines nearby, behind that wall." Ta walked to the wall Jin pointed to. There was a small door there, leading to a storage room. He reached for the handle. "Wait," said Jin suddenly. "The strange mind. It's here." Ta froze. He looked around the room but saw nothing. "Where?" he whispered. "I don't know," said Jin. "It keeps moving, like it's everywhere and nowhere." Suddenly, the lights went out. The room went completely dark. Tai heard a soft sound behind him. He turned and fired his weapon, but hit nothing. Then he heard Jin cry out in pain. When the lights came back on a few seconds later, Jin was on the floor. A small dart stuck out of his neck. He was still breathing, but his eyes were closed. "Jin." Ta knelt beside him and pulled out the dart. It was covered in some kind of liquid. "Poison," he muttered. Ta stood up and pressed his communicator. "Wan, Jin is down. Someone is hunting us." There was no answer. "Wan?" Ta tried again. Still nothing. Todd felt something he had not felt in years. Fear. 2 of his team were missing. 1 was unconscious, and he couldn't contact the others. "Show yourself," he shouted to the empty room. Silence answered him. Then a voice came from everywhere and nowhere. You should not have come here. Ta fired his weapon in the direction of the voice, but hit only the wall. The Empire thinks Earth is weak, said the voice. They were wrong. One lucky human doesn't make Earth strong, said Ta, slowly turning in a circle, trying to find the speaker. It only takes one ninja to kill 5 assassins, said the voice. Ta laughed, but his laugh sounded hollow. You've only stopped 2. There are still 3 of us. Look again, said the voice. A small object rolled across the floor to Ta's feet. It was Juan's cybernetic eye. Ta backed away. Impossible. No one can take Juan by surprise. I shut down his systems while he slept, said the voice. His technology is impressive, but it needs power. I simply turned it off. Ta's back hit the wall. He was cornered. "Andri?" he asked, trying to sound brave. A figure stepped out of the shadows. It was Kim, wearing his black suit that seemed to swallow light. The shapeshifter. Kim said, "She can change her outside, but not her inside." I watched how she moved, how she breathed. When she tried to trick the rebels, I was waiting. Tai raised his weapon, but Kim moved faster than any being Ta had ever seen. In a blur of motion, the weapon was gone from Ta's hand. "You're just a human," said Ta, still not believing what was happening. "I am a ninja," said Kim. "For 1,000 years, my kind has moved in shadows, striking without being seen, killing without being heard. The Empire will send more assassins," said Ta. "And Earth will send more ninjas," replied Kim. Ta had one last trick. He pressed a hidden button on his belt. A force field appeared around him, glowing blue. "You can't touch me now," he said. Kim smiled slightly. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a small metal ball. He threw it at the force field. Where the ball hit, the field flickered and died. "Earth technology," said Kim. "We study energy too." Ta had no more weapons, no more tricks. But he was still a warrior from Korath. He put up his fists, ready to fight. "Come then, human," he said. "Let's end this." Kim moved forward, and the final battle began.